If you've clicked on this video, you want to change your life, and I'm here for it. I can help you change your life because I have to do this every few months for me to run the business that I own, the businesses that I own. So just for context, I'm 23 years old, a millionaire from YouTube and real estate, still in part-time college because I want a backup plan and enjoy learning. But most days I play video games and yap on this channel. That just gives you a reason to listen to me, and let me tell you how I like to actionably change my life. So first of all, one thing I do want to advise you against is this little content loop. The fact that you're here means you're on YouTube. The fact that you're on YouTube means a little bit of it, even if it's not 100%, you want entertainment, which is okay, which is fine in moderation. But I do want to mention there is this horrible loop going on YouTube where you watch this type of video and don't act on it. This is one of the most dangerous things you can do because you get the gratification of attempting to change your life through watching a video, but you don't act on it. So you get the reward mentally and chemically, but you don't actually get the reward physically or, in actuality. And all of a sudden, you're just constantly feeding your brain into all this self-help stuff. So genuinely, after this video is complete and you take away the stuff that I tell you, please act on it. So, if you're watching this, you probably feel a little hopeless. Like you've probably tried changing your life time and time again and haven't seen results and you're annoyed at it. The good thing is, if this has been happening to you, you're already on a bit of the pathway. Similar to a smoker that smokes and wants to quit, they have withdrawals. But if you're smoking and all of a sudden you stop and you have withdrawals after one day, that is okay. If you stop smoking, like if you get the habit of smoking again and you start smoking again and then you stop and then 2 days later you hop back on it, that is the definition of progress. Now I know it's not going to happen overnight and you guys have to get used to that, okay? Whether you're on your entrepreneur journey, your 9-to-5 journey, your college journey, it doesn't matter. The point is, if you want to change your life, you have to understand how these habits of yours work. And this is how it operates. And it's not just smoking. It's no different to weight loss. It's no different to eating healthy. It's no different to exercising or working out. You will reach withdrawals and you have to get good at dealing with these withdrawals and recognizing when it's good and when it's bad, because not all withdrawals are bad. With that example, if you have a 1-day gap and then you hit withdrawal, it is good, but 2 days is better, 3 days is better, and eventually you will be able to cut it off completely. And another trick, or I like to call this a hack, but instead of doing that, find a replacement. So a good example of this is, I think around 2 to 3 years ago, I used to spend my summers not wanting to eat that much. So I don't know why I thought of this, but I thought my solution was if I drank soda, it would make my stomach feel acidic in the morning, and I would skip out on meals because I wouldn't feel hungry because of that acidic feeling. Terrible. I hope nobody does this ever in their lives, but I genuinely drank soda as one of my major meals during that summer. And so because of this, I realized I had a horrible addiction, not only to sugar, to soda, to something that literally degrades your teeth if you dip it in. So this is something I had to break loose of. And that's when I got those withdrawal symptoms. But then I found an alternative. I went from soda to Arizona, from Arizona to sparkling water with a hint of lemonade. And so that's kind of the direction I headed into, rather than going from soda to water, which is a very extreme and hard and difficult change to do, which I mean, you can give it a shot, but if you want to be miserable, skip all the steps, be my guest, but that's not very realistic. So genuinely, this is not about wasting time. This is also not about skipping steps. It's about compressing the efficiency that'll get you from point A to point B. Don't ignore the point A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way to E. That's what I'm trying to say. And you'll learn this time and time again because this comes up in life in every aspect of it. But genuinely, it is not fluff. It is I'd even call it a surgical take on this sort of potential that I know everybody has in them. Okay, so it does start a bit mental. You can do this. Everyone can do this. And then if you think you can't, start simple. Can you do withdrawals? Can you skip out on a day and deal with the withdrawal? Because if you can do that, you're already at the first step. But it does happen in these bite-sized things. I like to call them actionable steps. Anytime I talk about business on this channel, which is what the majority of the stuff is, It's all about actionable steps because these are tangible things you can do on a daily basis that'll build up and compound. Just like compound interest in the stock market, our skills compound and our actions compound, our habits compound. Utilize your compounding habits. If you know you have a lot of bad ones, replace them. If you know you have a lot of friends that influence you into these bad habits, maybe not replace them, but hang out with them less. Hang around people that genuinely want to better themselves because it will rub off on you whether you want it to or not. Genuinely, this stuff does not happen overnight and it does take time, and be okay with it. You shouldn't want to reach that final destination because you'll find out that there is no final destination. Once you're healthy, you're going to want to do more. Once you're fit, you're going to want to do more. Once you reach your money goal, you're going to want to do more. Doesn't matter what aim you have. Just enjoy the process of doing it. Enjoy the meals that you get to try out that are new. They might not taste as amazing as the unhealthy foods that you eat, but it'll get you one step closer to your goal and it'll be an interesting experience. It's similar to me kind of trying out biking for the first time. I didn't know if I'd like it or not, but it was amazing. That single-handedly changed my physical activity by 10x just because I tried it. Once I rode a friend's bike and I loved it. I fell in love with it. And that was my new habit, a good habit that I can replace with some of my old habits, which was just ordering out, not really going out much, and etc., etc. So I can introduce you to some of these new habits, and I genuinely don't need to, especially with some of the apps we have nowadays. Go into ChatGPT and look up low effort habits that are good and replace old bad habits. This can very well help you make that mental change, and a lot of your mental change is your environment. So really look around you. What are your family doing? What are your friends doing? Is this reflective on your own personal self? Another thing that I like to do is I do still like to look at these videos that talk about and discuss this sort of stuff, especially when they have hot takes, because not everybody thinks and operates the same. So if this method of mine does not work for you, curate it to your own way of working. You know yourself best. This is a very generalized video, and this is also just a way that I like to take these actionable steps to change my life every few months because I know I constantly have to improve if I want my businesses to constantly improve. What you'll feel at the end is a bit of a varying feeling. Some people feel clarity at the end. A lot of the times when I like to do this stuff and I reach my end goal, I feel this surge of energy knowing that I can do better, I can do more, and I usually go in that direction. And if not that, then I go onto maintenance. For example, if I'm doing a workout routine and I've reached a point where I think this is enough strength or I feel good about myself, I move on to just retaining this while doing other aspects of my life and getting that up. But I think the most beneficial feeling that you can get from this is a feeling of control of your own life. You know, we operate very autopilot on a day-to-day basis. A lot of our social events may feel automated on a day-to-day basis. A lot of us just kind of going to school, doing your work, or going to your 9 to 5, clocking in, doing your stuff, getting mentally abused, physically abused during that job, coming home drained, tired, and not wanting to do anything. You're on autopilot. So this will be very uncomfortable, but if you can reach that form where that uncomfortability feels comfortable, you now have control over it, which is a perfect feeling for making any sort of change that you ever want to make in your life. You're not just getting the theory, you're actually getting the conviction. And this shouldn't just be motivational words. I'm so serious. If you don't do this after this video, your life will be just as miserable as you started it. That I can guarantee you. That I can assure you will happen. So if you want some genuine results, you're gonna have to put the work in. Take action. Take those actionable steps. Open up ChatGPT. Tell it exactly how you feel, what your life is right now, and the actionable steps you can take moving forward. And then think about the stuff I said in this video and apply it. Mix and match it to your own style so that it works for you. This is supposed to be a personal journey. Notice how I didn't say it's supposed to be a personal goal, a personal end goal. This is merely a journey that'll keep going as you go further and further in life. Okay? It's supposed to just flip a switch inside of you to explain how to get to that point and then keep moving forward. But genuinely, what do you have to lose if you took these actions, if you took these steps? Just do it. Get your butt off of the computer, the phone, the TV, whatever the hell you're watching this on, and just do it. Because do you want to live the same life you were living before this video? Be for real with yourself. Press play. Think of yourself as a video game character in third person. He'd probably be saying slurs to you, calling you a bum. Like, let's be so for real. So listen to your third person perspective of yourself like your life depends on it, because it literally does, bro. We only got one chance in this life. Make the most of it. Subscribe if this resonated with you. This is some of the stuff that I wish someone had told me straight up to my face a few years ago when I started my entrepreneurial journey. And if you enjoyed, subscribe, maybe join up the Discord, all that stuff. Peace.